Hi students! In this lesson, we are going to learn how to draw graphs of some real functions. Drawing graphs is a very powerful tool of solving many problems on functions. Besides that, graphs help us to know the nature of curves, and they also give us a right approach to understanding various mathematical problems. Now this lesson aims to make you learn techniques to draw the graphs very quickly and easily. So, from the standard graphs of some very elementary functions, we can easily sketch the curves of some very complicated functions. So, let the fun begin. So first of all, let's start with the graphs of some very elementary functions. The first one is a constant function. The domain of a constant function is the set of real numbers and the range is one single value. So, this is the graph of a constant function where y equal to constant represents the graph of any constant function. We see that for all the values of x, this graph has only one value, that is y is equal to c, and so the range becomes only one single value. The second one is the identity function. It goes from R to R and fx equal to x is an identity function. Here the domain of this function is R and the range is again R. So y equal to x represents an identity function and the graph of an identity function is this. So y equal to x is a line which represents the graph of identity function. The third is the modulus function and it is defined as y equal to x for x greater or equal to 0 and y equal to minus x for x less than 0. So it is defined for all x, but it gives only positive values so that the range is from 0 to infinity. Now this is the graph of a modulus function. We see that for the values of x which are greater than 0 or equal to 0, y equal to x represents the graph of modulus function, and for the values of x which are less than 0, that is x is negative, we have y equal to minus x. So this part is y equal to minus x. Hence we can say that y equal to x is a part of the graph for positive values of x and y equal to minus x is a part of the graph for x less than 0. The fourth one is the exponential function and it is defined as fx equal to e to the power x. Here this represents the graph of y equal to e to the power x. Your domain is x belonging to the set of real numbers and the range is 0 to infinity. So this function takes only positive values and from 0 to infinity. Now this is the graph of an exponential function y equal to e to the power x. We see that this point is 0, 1. That is at x equal to 0, y is equal to 1. So it intersects the y axis at the point 0, 1. We also note that for x less than 0, the values which tend to minus infinity gives the value of y tending to 0, and for the values of x which tend to infinity, that is the positive infinity, the value of y tends to positive infinity. So this is an increasing function and the value of this function increases from 0 to infinity as x increases from minus infinity to plus infinity. The fifth one is the logarithmic function. Now fx equal to ln x represents a logarithmic function. Here the base is e, so it is also called as the natural logarithm. So we see that the domain is from 0 to infinity and the range is the set of real numbers. So in the graph of fx equal to ln x, we see that x can take values only from 0 to infinity, not including 0. That is, x only takes positive values, but the range is from minus infinity to plus infinity. That is, it belongs to a set of real numbers. So we see that when x tends to 0, the value of ln x tends to minus infinity, and when the value of x tends to plus infinity, the value of ln x also tends to plus infinity. So this is also an increasing function and the value of which increases from minus infinity to plus infinity. The next is the greatest integer function. Now we have already studied about it in the previous lecture. So if x is greater or equal to n and less than n plus 1, then the value of greatest integer function is equal to n. So the closest value of the integer 2x is the greatest integer function. So the closest value of any integer 2x is the greatest integer function. Now we have already seen the graph of greatest integer function. So when x lies between 0 and 1, the value is equal to 0. When it lies between 1 and 2, the value is equal to 1. When it lies between 2 and 3, then the value is equal to 2. Similarly, if x lies between -1 and 0, then the value is equal to -1. If x lies between -2 to -1, the value is equal to -2, and so on. Thus, the graph of the greatest integer function represents that of a staircase. Next is the fractional part. Now, the fractional part always lies between 0 and 1. So, this is the graph of the fractional part, where this line is y equal to 1. So, it never touches the line y equal to 1, and the value always lies between y equal to 0 and y equal to 1. Now let's see some of the trigonometric functions. So y equal to sin x. Now this is a very common graph, the domain of which is equal to r, and the range is from -1 to 1. The next is y equal to sin inverse x. Now the graph of sin inverse x is obtained by taking the reflection of the graph y equal to sin x about the line y equal to x. Now this is the graph of y equal to sin inverse x. Here we see that the domain is from -1 to 1. This interval represents the domain of sin inverse x, and the range is from -π/2 to π/2. Once again, the domain is from -1 to 1, and the range is from -π/2 to π/2. The next is y equal to cos x. Now we know that the domain of cos x is r, set of real numbers, and the range is from -1 to 1. So the maximum value of cos x is equal to 1, and the minimum value is equal to -1. The next is y equal to cos inverse x. Once again, we take the reflection of cos x about the line y equal to x to get the graph of y equal to cos inverse x. Now the domain of this is -1 to 1, and the range is from 0 to pi. Once again, the domain is from -1 to 1, and the range is from 0 to pi. The next is y equal to tan x. Now the domain of tan x is a set of real numbers excluding the points 2n plus 1 into π/2. That is the odd multiples of π/2. Thus we see that at π/2, 3π/2, x tends to infinity. So these points are excluded from the domain. Thus the domain is r minus 2n plus 1 into π/2, and the range is from -infinity to infinity. Now let's look at the graph of y equal to tan inverse x. Similarly, this graph is obtained by taking the reflection of y equal to tan x about the line y equal to x. Now the domain is r, that is x belongs to the set of real numbers, but the range is from -π/2 to π/2. So this graph is contained between the lines y equal to -π/2 and y equal to π/2. The next is y equal to cot x. Now the domain is r minus n pi. So at the points pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, we see that it tends to infinity. So these points are excluded from the domain of cot x. Thus the domain is r minus n pi, and the range is r because it takes all the values from -infinity to infinity. Thus the domain is r minus n pi, and the range is r. Now let's look at the curve y equal to cot inverse x. Here we see that the domain is r and the range is from 0 to pi. So this curve is contained between the lines y equal to 0 and y equal to pi, and x takes the values from -infinity to infinity. Y equal to sec x. Now we see that the domain is r minus 2n plus 1 into π/2. So at the points π/2, 3π/2, or -π/2, -3π/2, we see that the value is equal to infinity or -infinity. So this is not included in the domain of sec x. So r minus 2n plus 1 into π/2 is the domain of sec x, and the range is r minus the interval -1 to 1. There is no such value of y between the interval -1 and 1. So the range becomes r minus the interval -1 to 1. The next is y equal to sec inverse x. Here we see that the domain is r minus the interval -1 to 1, and the range is 0 to pi minus the point π/2. So we see that the range becomes 0 to pi/2, not including π/2, and pi by 2 to pi, not including pi by 2. So it is 0 to pi, not including the point pi by 2. And we see that the domain is r minus the interval -1 to 1. Next is y equal to cosec x. Now the domain is r minus n pi. So at the points 0, pi, we see that the graph does not exist. So these are the points we exclude from the domain of cosec x. So r minus n pi is the domain of cosec x. And the range is r minus the interval -1 to 1. So range is r minus the interval -1, 1. And the last one is y equal to cosec inverse x. Now this is also obtained by taking the reflection of cosec x about the line y equal to x. So we see that the domain is r minus the interval -1 to 1 and range is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 minus 0. That is, we see that it takes the values from minus pi by 2 to 0, not including 0, and from 0 to pi by 2, not including 0. Thus the interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, not including the point 0.